So, oh, thanks, Brandon.
Sorry, you're being recorded.
This is what is that? Quality assurance purposes?
Yeah, quality assurance purposes for training later on. Yeah,
No, that's perfect. So in-home recruiting, the biggest thing that I could ever tell, like for like the starting of it, is it's a choice, right? Like you have to want to do it, or else it's not going to happen. Lots of people always say they always go and they always ask about in-home recruiting, and if you're not doing it, then it's not going to happen, right? Um, so one of the best things I heard that happened at Star Academy was I don't know who said it, but to get an opportunity card at every single home. I think that's like the most genius thing in the world. But for in-home recruiting, there's lots of different ways how I in-home recruit and how I've made it successful for myself. Is that when I'm in the home, and you do your introduction of looking part-time work, right? So right in the beginning where it says, full-time or part-timers, and then you ask what they do for an extra $600 to $800. And, some people, they'll tell you that they aren't looking for it or whatever the case may be. Sometimes, most of the time, that's like a lie, right?
right.
So the one thing that I'm really good for too in a home is building a lot of rapport. So I usually know my clients like really, really well. I'll know if they're, prior to like what they're doing for work, if it's a part-time thing, if they're on maternity leave, whatever the case may be before my demo even starts. So I think one of the biggest things too is when you want to in-home recruit, know who you're in front of. How are you going to help them? Right? Because if you don't ask those questions, they're kind of like qualifying questions, right? It's almost like you're interviewing them without them even knowing that you're interviewing them. And then you just get into your presentation, show them how easy it is, right? Like um, how much fun it is. And then I like to talk about the company a lot too. um, that's a really big thing. I always love saying like I love what I do, this is why I do what I do, because then they know that what I do has more of a purpose instead of it just being something that I do, right? So that the client really knows how much I love what I do, that I care about what I do. So showing the passion even in your presentation when you're talking about it, like when I'm showing OmniShield, I say this is why I love what I do because this stuff actually works, right? And then when you get all the way to the end where you show your brochure, you guys do the We Need Your Help brochures.
Yep.
That is something to practice, like practice. They always say practice your walkthrough, like all the time, like religiously. Practice your We Need Your Help religiously if you want to be an in-home recruiter. Because the better that you get at that little spiel at the end, the more convinced that they're actually going to be. If you kind of just read the book to read the book, well, then that's what you're going to get out of it, right? Compared to like anywhere in your demo. And that's what a lot of people don't really realize, that how much work you put into your demo is the same amount of work you should put into the We Need Your Help brochure, right? Because the better that you deliver it, the more opportunity they're going to be interested in it. Talk about the open house, right? If you guys do open house, like your rep should be so pumped to go to an open house. Even just hold one, even for you guys. Like you guys have so much fun down in Michigan. I'm always so jealous, to be honest. Like it looks like you guys are always having fun.
There's plenty of
So
space in Michigan if you're looking to relocate.
I would get killed.
Not a
I
chance.
wouldn't I wouldn't make it to Michigan. so so have lots of fun there. Have lots of fun in the open house so that your reps have lots of fun. Talk about games, you know what I mean? That you can win money at them. So we do like a little Jenga game where we put Sharpie marker on, like it's like 10 cents, 5 cents, all the way up to $1. So that when we play Jenga, that's how much money the people would win, right? We got one of those little swirly board thingies with money on it too. Because a lot of people, the more that your safety advisors love being at an open house, the more that they're going to want to bring people to an open house. That's a thing too for like managers and dealers that need to know that, is that the more fun that you have, the more fun that they're going to want to do to bring the people to that open house. So going through the brochure, role playing it, making sure that your tone is good, make sure that they know what they're saying. Talk about the trips. Like I always say this is one of my absolute favorite things. I've learned to have a travel bug. And then I always ask the client, have you guys ever been to like Mexico? Have you ever been to these places? No? Okay, I didn't either before I started. And that's one thing that I really love about the business is that I get to go travel and be with like-minded people like myself and have lots of fun. Um, and like really, it's all you're doing is you're really promoting the fact that you're recognized in the company, that there's lots of incentives and rewards. Because no matter what, everyone loves protecting homes, but everyone loves feeling rewarded at the same time. And a
Right.
lot of people, especially right now, I feel like there's a lot of, healthcare aides, there's a lot of nurses, there's a lot of people who busted their ass throughout the whole entire pandemic that never got no recognition. None. You want to know how I got Sue Jenna? Recognition. That is it. She loves being recognized because she works her ass off as a nurse and she never got recognized. That's how I did it. Like people like that, they don't get recognized. And so being able to say, hey, like you put like your forefront, like literally my brochure is probably like another 20 minutes because I just talk and talk and talk. I don't just read the brochure, right? And then the next biggest thing is pick your person up. Pick them up. Do not expect them to come by themselves. The amount of people that have so much doubt in them is unreal. People don't think that they can be successful. People are scared of the unknown. So if you go and pick them up and like if they agree, yeah, like I'm interested in, you get them all pumped up and hyped up, make sure that you're there at their doorstep and you pick them up because they will show them. That's how you get a really high retention in your open houses. So take the time, like usually my safety advisors, they'll take the last, because we do it at 6:30 in the evening. So my safety advisors who have opportunity cards that they've brought in and that they've agreed to pick this person up, I make sure that they have that last demo slot off because they need to be there, right? Because they don't trust the manager over the phone. They don't trust whoever. They trust the safety advisor that got them involved in all of this,
Right.
right? So pick them up and make sure that they show up, and then the fun begins after that. Then afterwards, this is the biggest part. You can get them there, but then how do you get them in right away? Because I've heard that a lot of people ask, okay, that's great, but then how do you get them into training? Um, However you guys do your training, I always keep my media hires and my in-home people separate. I keep them separate. Not unless I have one person, then I'll put them in the media hiring, or if they're good to go for the 11 to 5 training during the day or whatever. But keep them separate, and typically they're evening trainings.
Now, do you train them based on their availability or based on you have your set time? This is when we do it.
Pretty much, I do both. I do both. If I know that I got like a really good superstar like in the room and they're only available on a Saturday, then I'll just do an all-day Saturday training.
Okay.
I really at that point I don't care. I want them out in the field,
I
right?
figured that's what you
So,
did. I just wanted everyone to hear that.
oh yeah, I'm a workaholic. Sometimes I'm not the best person to ask on how many days, Taylor, do you work? When Jeff was like, I work 90 days. I'm like, oh buddy, I only have months of that. But it's okay. But no one has to be like that. Um, but I do all day Saturday trainings for the people because of them being an in-home recruit. They don't need as much work as a media hire, right? Media
Right.
hires, you have to sell them. You like the fact that they're sitting in your training room for an in-home recruit, they're already sold. Plus, if you've already protected them in the house, you don't need to sell them OmniShield. You just
Right.
need to show them the details inside of the book and how easy it is. So typically, I can do it in a whole day. I'll get them to come at 10 in the morning after our morning meeting, and then I'll stay with them until 5 p.m. And usually I can have them perfect by that time. You don't need to do as much work with them, right?
Right.
And then usually I find evening trainings are the best. If you just work on day training, you're gonna have a really hard time in home recruiting because a lot of people already have full-time jobs. right? Or jobs that are during the day. So you'll want to get into evening training. I do mine only 6 to 9, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evenings for in-home for in-home recruits. And then you try and get them in just as soon as possible. So we do open houses every single Monday, and then we get them in for training. Now I still only do 2-day training. I'm still kind of leaning into the 3-day training. I don't know what you guys do, but
We do the standard we do the 3 day, like with the media hires.
3-day,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm still learning how to stretch it out to 3 days, but
We
I'll get
think
there. Pardon?
is that we don't do open houses, but I think it'd be fun to do because it'd get our people more involved. And I think that's our problem.
It's so much fun. Open houses, once you get those safety advisors so excited, all they want to do is bring in opportunity cards. Because we do a thing that when you bring somebody, both of you win money. So like we have this little wheel. Well, it's not little. It used to be little. Now it's this friggin' master giant wheel that we actually got from David Carter. David Carter found this really cool wheel that lights up and stuff. So we turn the lights off and it's got all these lights on it. And then you spin it, and then whatever that in-home recruit spins, both people win money. So if it's like $10, $20, it goes all the way up to 100. Then obviously when the safety advisor is winning money too, because they should be rewarded for actually going picking that person up. Because without your safety advisor doing that, you won't have in-home recruits. Right. So then when they're winning money at the same time, then they're more motivated to bring more people because obviously they want to win the extra cash, right? And it's a lot of fun.
Can I come like open houses and just stay the week for your training, see how it goes?
Sure.
Make Bill pay for
you want to come up to Edmonton?
Yeah.
It's an interesting place. It is. We got snow already. I don't know about you guys, but
oh, it's 60 here.
You would think that you're on a tropical vacation here right now.
Yeah.
No, that's me.
See, I like that weather though.
Do you?
Oh yeah. No.
Oh man, it's good today. It's nice. It's nice, but it's kind of shitty. So incentivizing safety advisors, I feel like that's a really big thing to do it as well. We host lots of contests to get it started. Like when I got a lot of brand new safety advisors getting going, and they're just starting to do it like in-home recruiting, we hold like little contests. Like if you bring in, 5 opportunity cards in the week or whatever you want your standard to be, right? Because it should be 20%. However many put-ons you do, it should be 20%. So then I will host a contest so that all my full-timers are bringing in the standard. So if they bring in like 5 opportunity cards, then they get $100 or some sort of a contest, right? So incentivizing in the beginning is good, and just to like instill the habit of doing it.
So you said 20% of the opportunity cards are yeses, or 20% just opportunity cards on whole?
I do yeses. I don't really like it's kind of like a tease.
Right.
I don't like being teased.
Fair.
Don't tell me that you just got an opportunity card for the sake of filling it out. So when you call them, this is one thing too, as manager, I call them Sunday nights or Monday mornings. And then I reconfirm that that there's an open house tonight and that they're good to go. And then what I want to hear is that person says, yeah, so and so, like, yeah, Alyssa's gonna come pick me up. And I say, perfect. What kind of non-alcoholic beverage do you like? Right? Because I always make sure that I got drinks there. We've done pizza before because it's at like 6:30, so sometimes they want to eat. The safety advisors like that too, because they don't gotta feed themselves. Little buggers.
Right.
Yeah. So then I always ask them what's their favorite non-alcoholic beverage, because it's kind of like a committing question. If they tell me what they're gonna be drinking, I know they're coming.
And you buy it, then they're gonna feel obligated to show up.
Exactly. Bring kids too. Lots of people, they won't come because of their kids. Let kids come. Let me tell you, it's a lot of fun. It's literally like a little party on a Monday night. I always, if I don't want kids to be the reason why people don't come, because I know for myself, if I was on the other foot, my son would have to come if I needed to go. Like my son's always in the office. Not always, but typically, right?
Right.
In the evening. So, um, so letting them bring their kids as well. Like don't ever let that be something, because usually you'll get like, you know, the single moms, or you'll get like the stay-at-home moms. They need to bring their kids, right?
Yeah, and that just shows
So
your compassion and that you actually care about them too, right? So
exactly, and that you're a family-oriented business. You're gonna get way more people that love the fact that you are more of a family-oriented business. Um, and then at the same time, because of them going to their warm market, if they know that the business is like okay with kids, then that's even a bigger plus, right? Because I've had people take their kids to demos, like for warm market, because they knew them, right?
right.
You know, like Alyssa comes to my house and brings her son because she knows that I have my son and that they can play and we can talk.
I've done it before.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it's fun.
a random family.
Yeah, I took my son to a repo once. It was very eventful. It was eventful, let me tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, it wasn't as colorful because he was there.
It was quite interesting. But but that would be like my biggest pointers for in-home recruiting. It's like it's a thing on both sides, right? Your safety advisors gotta be like, they gotta be doing it, right? It's like the walkthrough, right? You have to do the walkthrough. Well, you have to do in-home recruiting. Like you have to. If you want to do it, they have to just do it, not half-ass do it either. So host it, like doing like a meeting with your safety advisors, like a whole entire morning meeting on it, and just role playing it, right? How are you going to deliver that message across? And why they're a part of the business is what's going to sell more people, because people want to be like people they want to be like, right?
Right.
This poor human has his hazards on, middle of the road. That's a very squirrel moment. And then open houses are like the biggest must, and then just getting them in for training like as soon as possible. So that would be up to like you and the trainer. Like I've even done how, to be honest, I'll tell you my secret on how I won the belt. It was with in-home recruiting, and I was doing trainings even on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I was doing Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays.
Just nonstop.
Nonstop. Nonstop. But then I had a ton of in-home recruits. The only reason that we actually beat April in the recruiting office was because of in-home recruiting. That's it. It was just those people. If I took out those people and we didn't do in-home recruiting, April probably would have beat us for for the recruiting office.
See, now you
Secrets.
guys see, yeah, it's another reason as to why we need to push in home recruiting, right? So, right. So, like, I think Kyle, you're the one pushing for the recruiting with Taylor, and we were just doing media hiring, and she did in-home recruiting. Now, imagine if you combine the two of those,
Oh, Kyle killed me.
right? So and one of the big things that she said there that I wanted to take away is that she would train every single day. It didn't matter. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, it was Thursday, Friday, it was morning, night, whatever she needed to do, she was training. And the
Yeah.
biggest thing to get across, especially to your training manager, is that's how training goes, and that's how it should go, right? Like if their whole thing is recruiting and training, well, that's the mentality that we need to have, right? And
Yeah.
you would, even if it's just one person, you would train them, right?
Yeah, I would train him. Didn't matter.
Right. So you
If
don't
it
need
was
to
one
wait.
person, if it was two people, didn't matter.
Like I've heard people say, well, let's wait till next week because it's only two people or it's only one person. Like if you got
You've
someone who's
lost them.
ready, there you go. So,
They're already gone. Yeah, you got to get them right in the hype. Right in the hype. Oh, that's honestly, that's the biggest thing was I was just training like every day. Every Saturday was a day training. So because I found that a lot of people with their schedules, it doesn't work all the time, right? Like especially if they're like if they have part-time work, if they have full-time work, if they have kids, if they're dependent on their spouse, like you just have to cater, you have to cater to who's in front of you, right? If you really want to do it, you just have to cater to who's in front of you. Even if it's okay, let's do training Tuesday night and then they come back on Friday night, because I know that it's the same exact thing. Your days don't change, right? But that's with me doing 2 days. But with in-home recruiting, you won't have to do a 3-day training with in-home recruiting because they've already seen the demo. They've already done the walkthrough. They're already sold on the product, right? People who have a financial objection to being able to get OmniShield, well, get them into in-home recruiting, because guess what they're probably going to do? The bonus program, right?
There you go. Yep.
Because they're going to be earning money, right? If they have a financial reason why they can't do it, well, then give them a reason why they should be joining the business. And it's not just a matter of, do you think you can do what I do, right? You ask them, hey, Brandon, can you read out
Sure
loud?
can.
Wow, buddy, you're already qualified. Let's go. They just don't have, lots of people just don't have confidence in themselves anymore. They don't have confidence and they have a lot of doubts. It's just all fear. So once you get rid of that fear, you'll have an office full of people. And then what are those in-home recruits going to do? They're going to in-home recruit as well. So it's a whole entire toggle effect. That's how we did it in Winnipeg. Got Sue all excited, and then she brought a whole entire Filipino army in.
And you guys just murdered it.
It was unreal. I can't wait.
And that's the impact that one in-home recruit can have for your business. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was insane. The best thing ever for managers to get excited about is when you get a text message from a rep that forgets to text you that they have an appointment and they tell you that they're in, or they call you in. They call in and they're like, "Oh, Brandon, I'm just getting started." And you're like, "Wait, what? I got another put on the board."
Yeah, and I gotta speak to Jerry because to see his face, but there's been times where he's done that, right? He's just popped into a demo and didn't have a schedule, and he goes, "Hey, by the way, I'm at a demo." Oh, fantastic!
Those are the best. Those are the best. You have no idea how happy you make somebody when you do that.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
Well, that's really all I got. I know we only have 7 minutes because I'm cheap and I pay for the free Zoom. So,
Attaboy. Me too.
You guys have any questions for Taylor while we got her here?
Not right now.
So, Taylor,
Mhm.
if you're training every day like that, when do you have time for the opportunity weekend?
For the opportunity weekend?
Yeah.
I don't do it's not a weekend then. It's like longer. Because the people who are part-time, they only have so many days, right? When you got media hires, they have the days because they're looking for full-time work. But if they already have part-time jobs, say I do training Tuesday, Wednesday, then I'll do my fast start Wednesday or Thursday or Wednesday night, I guess. After training, it doesn't happen. Sorry, Thursday. I always get mixed up. Thursday all the way to Sunday. So I'll give them all of those extra days because they're part-time, typically. Right? Because all in all, with a part-time, with an in-home recruit, it doesn't even matter about the fast start weekend because they're all going to be warm markets anyways. Right? Mostly. That's what you want them focused on, because the longer that you give them, they're going to be contacting their friends and families. So the chances of those people fitting in with their schedule all the time, I just say, hey guys, and if you guys have appointments that don't fit in with this little fast start weekend, still book them anyways. Because people won't book further on. And I tell my media hires this as well. When they're having troubles getting it in that weekend, I'll say, well, keep booking them like throughout the week. Like just because of that don't stop it, because I want them to keep going with the warm markets.
Right. Okay.
Good question.
My problem right now is just getting my people to want to do the in-home recruits. Like they're like, oh, it was too late, so we didn't go over it. I'm like, why? And then I want to try.
So then you as a manager, ask on the phone as part of my call out. Hey, Alyssa, did Brandon talk to you about the opportunity? Oh, no, he didn't? Oh, my gosh. Put me back on the phone with Brandon.
And then you're gonna have a nice conversation.
Man, what are you doing, man? Brandon, show them that opportunity booklet before you leave, okay? Get that opportunity card because Alyssa's looking for more of an opportunity.
I know I want to strangle him.
Right? So call them out. Literally start calling them out. That's what I did. When people weren't doing it, I just started asking the customer, hey, did they show you that opportunity brochure? No?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Put me
Sure.
back on the phone. And then you as a manager, though, you got to make it sound like, oh my God, what? They didn't do what? Because now that client is more intrigued of why you're so whoa.
Right.
That's what I started doing. And then people were too embarrassed not to do it. Because I was calling them all out. Like, shit, she's going to ask. I got to do this before I call. So that was a big thing. That helps as a manager to do that.
Yeah, but monkeys, the referrals and all that stuff. So
Yeah, it's just as important. If you ask them if they helped out with the Survey Monkey post, if they got referrals, how many names and numbers, if they did this and this, well, did you show them the opportunity brochure? Right? It's a part of the whole entire process. If you want to do in-home recruiting, it has to be a part of the process. Just like getting leads is. Because that's what it is. Like an in-home recruit, that's a whole other lead bank. That's another line in the water. More lines in the water, more fish you're going to catch.
That's right. And then like she said, true, like, so for, because it's mostly dealers and stuff around here, or people who have been here for a while, it's on the leadership as much, right? So we can't allow for a safety advisor to come in and say, oh no, sorry, I didn't get it, and then tell them it's okay, right? We got to make sure that we're hammering down the yes cards or the opportunity cards in every single appointment, because the moment we start giving them leeway, what do you think is going to happen? Right? So from our ends too, we got to make sure that we're not slacking and we're not allowing them to not do it, because the moment they see that, then it's just going to become a habit for them. So
exactly. If you don't care as a leader, then why would they?
True.
Right? It's pretty much how it goes. So the moment that you start caring, then the moment they will too.
Kyle, you got anything?
I know.
No, I'm good.
I can't call you ugly, Kyle, because you got a picture of your little boy there on your Zoom, so that would just be rude, right?
Yeah, and it's his birthday.
Oh,
Is it? Ah!
Yeah, Richard turns 3 today.
Oh, right. I seen Julia's post. And happy anniversary, too, by the way.
Thank you.
yeah, and happy birthday, Richard. I guess I can go on your Facebook and tell him too, right? But he's not going to read it anyway. All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, we have a minute 45 left. Taylor, I appreciate you taking the time out and doing this for us.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you, Brandon, for putting this together, and thank you, Taylor, for being awesome as you always are.
Aw, thanks, buddy. I can't go head to head with you this year, but
Sure, we can.
You can for office.
I guess the office, yeah. Gosh, now I just released all my secrets. You make me work harder now.
I'm still gonna pick your brain on the Survey Monkeys because I know that changed my game last time. So I don't know if you have a script for that, but
I do.
my
I
people
have
need your Survey Monkey mojo.
Yeah,
Oh,
I forgot to ask that. I'm sorry, Kyle.
No worries.
We can definitely do it. I love Survey Monkey. Yep. Okie dokie.
Yeah, we'll appreciate it.
Definitely pick my brain, Kyle. You can always video chat me or whatever. We can do another Zoom too if you guys need that as well. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. It's a very boring drive to work, so
We'll do our best to keep you
it's a
occupied
lot
then.
more fun.
Yeah.
This is better than listening to 3 Days Grace.
Well, it depends on which song.
All of them.
It
I get to
depends
go to
on
their
which 3
concert.
days grace.
I get to. Oh, they just dropped a new album. I get to go to their concert on November 11th. So I'm so excited.
Not original 3 days grace.
Hey, I like the OG too. I like the OG. The whole thing. It's
The
like
guy
My
that was
Chemical
crazy and spoke to a Terminator arm on the stage. That was 3 days grace.
All right. Before